we are going to discuss the first lesson of English first year, that is his first flight. So in this video, I'll discuss 3 or 4 things with you. First of all, title, his first flight. What is the significance of this title? Then, who is the dramatist? Liam O'Flaherty. What were his characteristics? And then, story in brief. And after that, theme of this play. So his first flight, this is very interesting and very motivational story. And the writer, Liam O'Flaherty, he says that whenever you are going to do anything for the first time, the start is always difficult. The start is always challenging, embarrassing. But those who have courage to plan, they are successful. Just like here, I have noted a quote in front of you that every first step in life needs courage and self-confidence. So whenever you are going to take first step, whether you are going to start your journey on foot, for example, when you are a child of 1 year, 1.5 years, and you start walking, the first step in life, it needs courage and self-confidence. To cover a distance of 100 miles, we have to take a first step. So if we have to cover miles of journey, definitely it starts from the first step. So first step is very important. First attempt is very important. As it is said, first impression is the last impression. And also one more scholar says, well begun is half done. So let's start. The dramatist, Liam O'Flaherty, he was an Irish dramatist. He was also a novelist and short story writer. He was born in 1896 and died in 1984. He was, you can say, 20th century dramatist and novelist. So some of the characteristics of his works are there. Before going to this story or theme, I would like to share what were the major characteristics of Liam O'Flaherty's works. One thing is that is stark naturalism. Stark naturalism means pure, real, and simple without fancy or imaginations. Means nature or it depicted any scene. So it was very simple, pure. There was no, you can say, artificiality. There was no modification. There was no fancy imaginations, exaggerations. His first characteristics of his work is that he was very pure, very simple, and very natural sort of dramatist. Secondly, analysis. Okay, in his works, in his dramas, in his short stories, and his novels, we feel there are feelings, emotions of characters are displayed. Okay, so psychological analysis is the second characteristics of Liam O'Flaherty's works. The third characteristics of his works are that he writes a very powerful drama. Whether he writes a short story or novel, his plot, his story is very powerful. There are sensational elements, thrill is there, and emotions of the characters are there. So these are the 3 major characteristics of Liam O'Flaherty's works. And here in this story, his first flight, you will realize all these 3 characters beside many others. So first of all, story in brief, his first flight. So a young seagull, as it is written here, I'm reading, listen to me, and then I'll explain where needed. A young seagull lived with his family in a ledge. Ledge is that place where birds make their nest in rocks, etc. He was living beside the sea in his ledge with his family. His 2 brothers, a sister, father, and mother, they were out for flying. They were flying, soaring, going up and hunting while he was afraid to fly. He was, you can say, stuck in his ledge, and his family was out. They were flying, they were soaring up, they were hunting fish, etc. But he was there. They, his family members, they all rebuked him. Rebuked him mean they all admonished him, bora bara ka, malamat ki, and incited him, encouraged him to fly with them, but all in vain. Okay, they all tried. They first of all rebuked, they encouraged, then they rebuked this seagull that come and fly with us. You are not going to fall. You are not going to you are not going to drown in the sea. So he did not do this, all in vain. It was useless. He remained hungry in his ledge, and finally, being mad with hunger, he remained for a day or two hungry, starved, and then finally, when he was mad with hunger, means when for a day or two he did not have anything to eat, so he was totally mad with hunger. He dived. Yes, his mother came close to him and offered him a piece of fish. He dived over the fish, which was in the mother's beak, but failed as she soared up. She was just, you can say, encouraging him. She was teaching him a lesson that how to dive, how to soar up, how to fly, and how to catch a fish. And she was just, you can say, imitating. She was not really giving him a piece of fish. She was imitating. And when she came near, halted. She stopped for a while, okay, and then he dived. She soared up, she went up, she flew up, and then the seagull, the first time, as I've written here, he felt a bit dizzy for a while. For a moment, he felt that he is feeling some sort of dizziness. Okay, उसे चक्कर आ रहे थे, but soon realized that he was able to fly over the sea. So it lasted for a very short time. He realized that now my wings are supporting me and I am over the sea and I am not falling in the sea. I am not drowning in the sea. What happened then? Then all his family appreciated him when he started flying and soaring and diving and hunting. All his family praised him, appreciated him, and offered him a fish to eat. They all came to him. Because they wanted to teach him a lesson. They were, you can say, sincere to him. They were loyal to him, and they wanted to teach him a lesson. Therefore, they were motivating. And if so, in our life, if someone, he, you can say, commands us, our parents, for example, teachers, they admonish us, they encourage us actually. And those people who are blaming you, they are criticizing you, actually they are motivating you. So you should not focus upon that rebuke or that criticism. You should think that this is good for me. ये बाद मुखालिफ से ना घबरा है उकाब, ये तो चलती है तुझे ऊंचा उड़ाने के लिए. So thus he made his first flight. Okay, so first of all, he was not flying, but when he was mad with hunger, then it was last option. He jumped up, and then he realized that his wings are supporting him, and so he made his first flight. All the family members were happy, and they were encouraging him, and they were offering him some pieces of fish to eat. Then come to theme of this short story. What is the theme? His first flight is a short motivational story. Motivational story means a story which motivates you, which encourages you to do something. Okay, it is a motivational story for you students, explaining the psychological pressure of doing a thing for the first time. When we are going to do some sort of task, some sort of job for the first time, there is some psychological pressure over us. Okay, it is also common with many of us in life while we are going to do any task for the first time. Whether visiting anybody, any new person, we are going to meet any VIP person, any arm officer, any president, MP, etc. for the first time, driving a car or bike for the first time, or even entering the school or college for the first time. So most of us, when they were then they were children, first day of the school, that was very, you can say, terrible and very frightful. So whenever you are going to enter the college after your matriculation exam, the first day in the college has also some sort of feeling. Psychological pressure is there of seniors, of fooling in the college hostel, etc., or many other factors can be there. So just like, for example, for the first time you are driving a car or bike, so you have fear that I'll make accident, etc. So therefore, This is the psychological fear or fright, and therefore some of the people quit that job or task. So most of the people, they quit, they leave, they give up that very job or task because of this fear, this psychological pressure. They don't do the job. But here the writer uses seagull as a symbol. Okay, symbolism is there. He uses seagull as a symbol to convey his message more beautifully. Okay, in the form of a bird, he wants to teach you a lesson. He wants to teach us a lesson that whenever we are going to do any sort of job for the first time, there is definitely psychological pressure. Okay, the seagull hesitates to fly over the vast sea. Very vast and big sea was there, and seagull was thinking that my wings, my feathers will not support me. So what was the result? He remains hungry for a couple of hours, for many hours, but finally starts flying and hunting as it was the last option. Okay, marta kya na karta. So finally he started flying and then hunting, etc. He learned all the tricks, all the things he had to learn. The first step is always difficult and challenging, and those who have courage to plunge are finally successful, for fear of failure is the first obstacle. This is the first obstacle. First, you can say, hindrance, pehli rukawat in the way of success. Okay, fear, remove your fear, quit your fear. Whenever you are going to, for example, appear in an interview, test, etc., there is some sort of fear. But those who, you can say, cover up, those who don't fear, etc., they are successful, because confidence is very important thing. So you should think that fear of failure is the first obstacle, first hindrance, first stop, first barrier in the way of success. So this was our short introduction, theme, and story in brief about his first flight. Hope you have liked this video. If you liked, subscribe to my channel English with Umer for more educational and informative videos. Thank you all.